Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Patrice, and this is my Embellish Life. In this week's episode, it's all about McCall's 8321. Yes, I do have a pattern review to share with you all today. So if that's something you're interested in, let's get in it. Now, before I get into the pattern review, let's have a little chat about the elephant in the room. Exhibit A. I had a mishap this week, you guys. I had a mishap this weekend. Because of that, I was kind of limited in doing a lot of things this week. Story time. So, I have two dogs. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll be well acquainted with these two fools by now, Prince Hunter and Majesty. I love them, but sometimes it can be a bit too much. So a few days ago, I was lifting a suitcase on my bed because I wanted to get something out of it. And in the process of lifting the suitcase and trying to dodge these two fools, something pulled and snapped in my hand. And let me tell you, the pain that came with it. I swear to all God that I heard my ancestors beating the drum and calling me home to glory. It hurt like the dickens. I'm not even joking. So I was kind of out of commission for a few days, because there was a lot of swelling and the pain and stuff like that. But thankfully, it's not broken. And my saving grace is that it's my right hand and not my left hand. I'm left-handed, so I'm not completely up the creek without a paddle. But it kind of limited what it is that I could have done this week. Before the injury, I did resume my knitting, the summer court tag that I've been talking about. I finally resumed it, and now it's at the side again because I can't really manipulate my hand too much. And so, yeah, thankfully, before the injury, I had almost completed McCall's 8321. Before the injury, I think I had just the hemming and to stitch the facing down at the waist, and that was it. So I was able to push through that so that I could have a completed make for you guys this week. But next week, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that the healing process would continue on the way that it is, so I'll be able to do more things. But if not, because I don't want to aggravate it too much, and even right now I'm kind of I'm animated with my hands. If you've noticed, I talk a lot with my hands, so even now I'm trying to be aware because when I move it, I feel it. So next week I might just share my long anticipated fabric haul from Fabric Wholesale Direct and Cali Fabrics, two new to me companies, or I might just share my birthday outfit plans. I know I shared one of the outfits last week, I'm sorry, but I might do that next week. But I'm not sure, we'll see. Hopefully you'll stay tuned and come back next week to see what's the verdict regarding this entire situation. So let's get to the main course of this video, and that is the pattern review for McCall's 8321. Yes. Now, when I started this dress, I need to get it together. Why am I always calling skirts dresses and all sorts of things? I know my garments, people. I do know them. Please forgive me. When I started this garment, I think it's over the weekend. It wasn't my intention, to be honest. I had all intention of starting my birthday outfit. The bubble dress I I shared last week. But in the midst of me trying to select my fabric and all of that, a particular fabric just jumped out to me, and it was like, pick me, I want to go, pick me, Patrice, you know. And I'm like, okay, I see you. Okay, let's get you sorted. I'm gonna get you sorted. So it was a seersucker fabric that I had, and I love seersucker materials. I do. And my intention was always to make it into a dress, something like McCall's 8321. So because of that burning sensation that I had to use the fabric, I knew immediately that I was going to use McCall's 8321. Now, this dress, according to the pattern, it is rated as average, and we'll talk a bit about that. And the fabric suggestions are batik, cotton blends, linen, and sateen. And like I said, I use seersucker. By the way, I did get this fabric from Cali Fabrics, and I love it. Love the company. I'm another sold customer. I will use these people again, but we'll talk about that next week. So back to the matter of hand. So yes, I did use the seersucker fabric, and the view that I chose was view A. And if you notice with the pattern, what I do love about this pattern is that I've told you guys that this year I was after a certain look, a type of feminine flirty look, and I think this pattern absolutely speak to me on those terms. So the back of the dress, let's see, the back of the dress, if I'll take it, I'll see if I can take it down. Ooh, careful, Pat, careful. So the back of the dress is actually ties. So you tie the back of the dress. Tie the back of the dress, and then a full at the front. And all the excitement happens at the back. And then there's the elastic to gather the back, and then there's two tiers. So there's some gathering that we have that is done. So how do I find this pattern? But before I go into that, let's talk about the sizing. Now the sizing that I did cut a size 16, which I knew that it was going to be slightly too large for me, and I'll explain that. For me, when I cut my patterns, most times I do have to grade from my armhole and down the bust and to my waist. So what happens, my armhole and the top of my neck is a 14, and I have to grade it down to a 16 for my bust and my waist. Because if I don't do that, if I just stick to the size 16, then I will get a lot of gaping in the armhole and in the neck region, and that is just not cute to me. So I usually have to do grading, which is why I do love when my patterns come with size 14 and 16. But I find that these new patterns lately, they're separating my 14 and my 16, and I'm not a happy camper about that. So now I think I'll have to really consider doing Nancy, I think her name is Nancy Zimmerman. I'm not too sure, but I do have a book from her that she speaks about pattern construction and cutting the fabric, and this kind of sliding method that she's she speaks about. I have to go back into my library and get the book and read it again. I think I have to start doing that technique in order to get my fitting for these types of patterns that doesn't come with my 14 and my 16 together. So that is what happened with my sizing. I cut the 16, and because of that, I did have some slight gaping in my armhole region and in the neck region, which I had to go back to fix. In terms of pattern pieces, the pattern calls for 6 pieces. So we have the straps, the bodice facing, the top tier, the bottom tier, and the back straps. So we do have 6 pieces to put together. Now, how difficult was the pattern? Like I mentioned before, the pattern is rated as an average. And I do understand why it's rated as average, because, you know, there's some gathering, yes, and there's also the facing that you have to put on. There's also the casing for the elastic that you will have to create. So I do agree that it's an average pattern, but it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. To be honest, I didn't even realize that it was an average pattern until I was getting prepared for this video, and I said, let me read to see what's the difficulty level on this thing. If I didn't read it, I would not have known that it was rated as an average pattern, to be honest, because the pattern is so simple to put together. It really is. It really is. The instructions are easy to read, very detailed. I had no difficulty at all. I had no mishaps for this dress. Can you believe it? I was so happy. I was too happy. I whipped through this dress like nothing. I honestly did. And I'm a bit disappointed because I whipped through it so fast that I honestly forgot to videotape it. Now, I'm new to all of this recording and stuff like that. So, you know, I do have to make a mental note to record. And to be honest, by the time I remembered to record, it was after my injury when I noticed I didn't record anything, and I was like, well, it's too late for that now. The dress is 95% completed. We'll move on from that. Hopefully my peoples will understand and they wouldn't say, this woman had the unmitigated gall to come here without any footage. I beg, please forgive me. But anyway, it was easy to construct, easy to put together. I absolutely love this pattern. Now, in the terms of the fitting, I did mention that I had the gaping in the neck and the armholes because of the size 16 that I didn't grade So I did have to take it in a bit, do some adjustments at the top to take it in. I did have to do some adjustment at the top to take it in to get a better fitting. So that's what I did. And I'll put some footage so you can see the end results. So it is a lot better, but under the arm, there's still a bit of slight gaping. And I think I'll go back and fix that, but it's livable at the moment. Did I do any sort of adjustments? To be honest, I didn't do any sort of adjustments. One thing that I forgot, and I'm kicking myself right now because I'm so upset. How could I forget this? Now, the pattern doesn't call for pockets. And you guys know I love me my pockets. Patrice loves me her pockets. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And so when I cut the pattern, I had all intention of cutting the pockets one time, which I forgot. So I'm like, okay, Patrice, make a mental note. Before you put the sides together, make the accommodations for the pockets. You have to sort out the pockets. But you guys, this pattern was so easy, and I was just whipping it like nothing, that I actually forgot the pockets until I came to the end and I tried on the skirts. And you know, for me, automatically, like a force of habit, I would put my hands in my pocket and I'm like, I don't feel anything. What's happening? I didn't add the pockets. I didn't. So that is something when I make the dress again, because I do intend on making this dress again, that I have to make a mental note. Patrice, add your blooming pockets. We need pockets over here. Yes, we do. What are my overall thoughts of McCall's 8321? This dress was such a pleasure to make. I enjoyed making this dress thoroughly. I enjoyed making this dress. This dress, I give it a 5 out of 5. It was that good. I would mention though that this dress, one of the reasons why this dress was so easy to put together is because of the pattern markings. You have to be aware of your pattern markings and be mindful to transfer your pattern markings. If you don't transfer those pattern markings, trust me, that's when you will catch hell. You will catch hell if you don't transfer these pattern markings for this dress. Because the pattern markings will tell you where exactly to attach, where your back straps should start and stop, where you attach your straps, where you will attach your elastic casings, and of course your gatherings, and where you would attach your gatherings, because especially for the gatherings, the seams of the gatherings do not match the seams of the side of the dress. There are markings for where to attach the gatherings. And if you go by the assumption that you're matching the seam to seam, you would catch hell. So be aware of your pattern markings and where to put them, and life would be smooth for you with this dress. I'm not joking. But all in all, this dress is lovely. If you don't have it, I would recommend that you get it. I know it's still available on the Something Delightful website, and you could always get it also on Etsy and eBay. So get it. Get it. All right, lovies, that is all that I have today concerning McCall's 8321, a must-have for your pattern stash and your wardrobe. Highly recommend it. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you come back next week as I continue to share my shenanigans and my misadventures. Pray for me, guys. Pray for me. I'm not sure what's going to happen next week. Hopefully it might be a pattern haul or something else. We'll see, but you have to come back next week to find out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a lovely week. Continue to make beautiful things. Think lovely thoughts. Keep on smiling. All right? Bye.